Flashing before me is a continuous flow of images, young and old, ailing, crawling, blind, sick, all hopelessly needy, whose lives have touched me. So here I am with the stories of Suresh and Basappa, Martin and Stella, and my own story, how I chose the less traveled path that changed my life. Early in childhood, my parents gave me a mantra, touch a life every day. I grew up watching my parents living a simple life full of compassion and care. I remember much before the concept of CSR, my father had taught me the importance of ISR, that is, individual social responsibility, how much as an individual I owe to the community. When we came to Chandigarh in 1960, I was young and very keen to do my bit for the needy around us. Very soon, my tryst with the pain and suffering of others came up in a most unexpected way. One evening, I went to the market. It was already dark, and as I came out of my car, I stepped on a small, dirty heap of rags. A pathetic cry came out, and to my horror, I saw a leprosy-stricken man in the rag heap. In place of his nose, there were just 2 holes, mutilated limbs, and leaky wounds. The man was in great agony. I closed my eyes and wanted to run away, but better sense prevailed, and I said, "Baba, pardon me for stepping on you, but why are you lying on the road?" His story was heartbreaking. There were hundreds of them, men, women, children, all badly infected with leprosy. No home, no food, no medication, begging during the day and spending the nights on the roadsides, under the trees, on footpaths, in sun, in rain, in cold. Badly jolted by the cruel reality, I rushed home and shared the whole incidents with my husband. Next morning, we had an urgent meeting of our Rotary Club. Planning and action started almost immediately. For years, it remained my top priority. And now, they all are totally disease-free, self-dependent, their children going to regular schools, and their residential colony a place of pride in Chandigarh. God had kept my eyes and heart open in that chance encounter with one man, Basappa, that changed the lives of so many families forever and transformed my own life. Some years back, Sister Jaya from Mother Teresa's home phoned me seeking help for heart surgery of a small boy. We started raising funds immediately, but by the time we had the money, the boy Suresh had died. This tragedy shook my conscience. My husband and I resolved to promote a free heart surgery project for poor children. From then onwards, more than 600 free heart surgeries have been done under our Rotary Heartline project, which include children from India, Uganda, Pakistan, Nepal, Afghanistan, Malawi, Rwanda, and Zimbabwe. The tragedy of Suresh's death proved to be a harbinger of new lease of life for so many children, and also a great gesture of extending hands of friendship to so many countries. Friends, if you close your eyes for a moment, how do you feel? What do you see? Total darkness. This is how an elderly lady in Uganda, Gulu, Uganda, felt for 10 long years. Total darkness. During this period, Several grandchildren were born, some were married, but she could not see them. She knew them only by their voices. Then, in August 1998, a Rotary team of ophthalmic surgeons operated upon her eyes. When her dressing was removed, the lady went wild with unexpected joy when she saw several of her grandchildren for the first time. I was fortunate to be a part of that first medical mission that went from India to Uganda and operated upon that lady and many, many more people. From then onwards, a span of 18 long years, we have served in more than 12 countries in Africa and deprived areas of India. In over 30 medical missions, countless lives have been changed. Lives are changed when thousands of people can walk after polio corrective surgeries through our medical missions. Lives are changed when vision is restored to hundreds and thousands of people after their eye surgeries. Lives are changed when a new face is given to the most inhuman Rwanda genocide victims and many others with severe congenital defects, as also fire and acid victims. In Africa, women so much abused and neglected live in agony and shame with torn genitals or uterine tumors, sometimes weighing 10-15 kilos. In our medical missions, miracles are performed to restore health and dignity to their lives. Unlimited smiles are generated when I take toys, balloons, and chocolates for children in the hospital wards, a huge reward for such a small gesture. Friends, some of the great lessons I have learned are not from any book or in a classroom. These lessons are from the open book of life. Lessons of patience, tolerance, love, gratitude, above all, the lesson to smile and laugh at the big tragedies of life, and yet to have the courage to say the two important African words, Hakuna Matata, no problem. I learned that under the skin, color of blood is same in all of us, that the pangs of hunger, pain of a sick child, tears of a mother have the same sorrow world over. In Ethiopia, I was playing with Martin, a toddler patient, always happy and giggling in spite of great pain because of multiple surgeries on his little legs. A local doctor asked him, "Martin, how do you communicate with ma'am since you don't speak English?" Martin said, "Oh sir, that's no problem. Ma'am always smiles in my language." Martin taught me an important lesson, how without words we can reach out to another human being. All it requires is a hug, a warm smile, a loving heart, sometimes even a shoulder to cry on. In Rwanda, working with us, Stella, a nurse, laughs very heartily every now and then. One day I asked her, "How can you laugh in such gloomy atmosphere?" Stella became pensive and said, "If I don't laugh it out, I'll go insane in the midst of so much pain, suffering, and death." Stella was a living lesson for me, how laughter can lighten tense atmosphere. Sometimes I ask myself, what do I owe for my existence on this earth? What do I owe to my country, to my family, to my subordinates? Must you and I not ask ourselves such questions more than often? For me, giving back is based on my deep conviction that all I have is the result of the generosity of so many. While saying this, I wonder, is it not our ego that we feel it is always the poor, the less privileged who are in need, and we, the affluent and well-placed, are helping them? I believe no one is an island. We all are independent in so many ways. If one morning my cleaning lady doesn't turn up, my household comes to a standstill. If the garbage pickers are absent, the whole neighborhood starts stinking. If the doctors and nurses are absent, people start dying. I think each of us is a giver and a receiver both. I know, as an ordinary housewife, I don't have much expertise, but I also know that as long as I have something to share, to care, I'll always be needed, and I'll add value, howsoever small, to the society and to myself. My young friends, I have shared some of my humble experience here with the hope and wish that along with your academic studies, you will also master the technology of being human and being needed. I'll close with a short parable. There were two angels in heaven named Asha and Daya. Asha was constantly busy flying between heaven and earth, carrying heavy load of letters from earthlings to God with requests for wealth, power, property, progeny, marriage, etc. While Daya was mostly free and relaxed, very seldom flying between earth and heaven, because she carried only rare messages of gratitude to God, saying, "Thank you, God, for giving me the opportunity to do the right thing, the kind thing, the loving thing, and make me feel needed." My friends, it's up to us, up to you and me. Which angel do we desire to approach? Thank you for making me a part of TED.